A shootout. Yes, the Hawks lose in a shootout to the Carolina Hurricanes. Kevin Lankinen, yet again, playing on his head, but the Hawks come out short, but get a point because Lankinen played that good. It's a 4-3 final, and well, the Hawks lose. But it's technically 3-3 if you think about it, because the shootout goals don't count towards actual game stats. They just determine the win. And, well, it ends up being 4-3. So, it was a rough game for the Hawks. They didn't look that good, but they managed to grind out a point getting tonight. So, I guess that's a positive, even though the Hawks lose tonight 4-3 technically, but it was still a shootout loss. Total shots on net per period, it was 9-15 in favor for your Chicago Blackhawks in the first period, 10-9 in favor for the Hurricanes in the second period, 17 to 6 in favor for the Hurricanes in the third period, overtime 5-3 in favor for the Hurricanes in the OT. So total shots on net 41-33 in favor for the Hurricanes. And a lot of those shots the Hurricanes were firing at Lankinen were high quality, high opportunity chances they could have scored. But Lankinen stood strong and helped get the Hawks a point tonight. But let's look at the rest of the stats of the game. Since it was 41-33 on shots in favor for the Hurricanes. Faceoff were key tonight. It was 55.9% to the Hawks' 44.1% on the dot. The Hawks didn't look so good at the dot, but because in the last about 5 minutes they lost the last 7 faceoff draws in the Hawks defensive zone. That's not good right there. Power plays 0 for 1 for the Hurricanes, 1 for 2 for the Hawks. Hits 33-27 in favor for the Hurricanes. They were out hitting the Hawks, but it was pretty close. It was 33-27. It was kind of a chippy game, if you ask me. Block shots 16-24 in favor for the Chicago Blackhawks. That's good right there. But takeaways and giveaways, they were split dead even at 10-10 in the giveaway category. Takeaway category 9-9. So the Hawks lose this thing, but they still grind out a point and get on the standings. It's not bad by the Hawks in my opinion, but they do have to thank Lankinen for that point. If it wasn't for Lankinen, the Hawks probably would have been blown out. That's how good he was for the Hawks. And, well, let's get to the goals of the game, why not? At 3:51 in the first period, the Hawks go down early as Andrei Svechnikov scores his 5th goal of the season, assisted by Warren Foegele and Jordan Staal, to make it a 1-0 game, Hurricanes. The Hurricanes get on the board early, and, well, the Hawks were trailing pretty quick. And they do have a good grind back to try and tie it up, but the Hawks don't. And at 14:46 in the first period, Warren Foegele with his first of the season, assisted by Jordan Staal and Brady Shea, to make it 2-0 Hurricanes. Staal was passing a lot in the slot, leading to those goals, and, well, the Hawks are now down by 2. But the Hawks get a power play to try and battle back. At 17:58 on the power play, scored by number 23, Philip Kurashev. His 4th goal of the season, assisted by number 24, Pius Suter, and number 8, Dominic Kubalik, to make it a 1-goal game. It's 2-1 Hurricanes, but the Hawks are battling back. This goal by Khrushchev was a beauty because he was standing right in the slot, right in the crease. Kubalik feeds it to Suter. Suter feeds it right to Khrushchev in the crease, and Khrushchev buries it to make it a 1-goal game. And well, at 1942, in the first period, so 17 seconds remaining in the first period, the Hawks tie the game up. And it's scored by number 88, Patrick Kane. His 5th goal of the season, assisted by number 12, Alex DeBrincat, to make it a 2-2 game at the end of 1. This goal was set up by DeBrincat kind of taking the puck in the offensive zone, shooting it. It gets basically deflected, went to Kane, and Kane buries it past James Reimer to make it a tie game going into the first intermission. So the Hawks are tied at 2 with the Hurricanes. Good job by the Hawks right there to battle back from being down 2-0, and well, they get to go into the second period tied at 2. Nothing was scored in the second period, but Kevin Lankinen stood strong, making some solid saves when called for, and the Hawks managed to play strong, leading to the Hawks having to go to the third period. In the second period, at the last minute and a half or so, the Hawks were cycling the puck, looking like they were starting to gain their momentum back. And, well, nothing came from it. So we go to the third period, still tied at 2. But at 6:50 in the third period, Vincent Trocheck scores his 5th goal of the season, assisted by Niederreiter and Brett Pesce, to make it a 3-2 game. This goal was really won by Trocheck by winning a faceoff in the Hawks' defensive zone, and they started moving the puck, trying to shoot it. Niederreiter shoots it, blocked by Murphy, and well, it goes over to Trocheck on the Kevin Lakinen's glove side, and well, nothing Lankinen could have done there because it was just one of those quick, weird deflections off of a defenseman. Well, defenseman's stick, and it goes the wrong way into a offensive player to bury one to make it a 3-2 game. But the Hawks tie it up again at 13:21 in the third period. Scored by number 17, Dylan Strome. His 4th goal of the season, assisted by number 12, Alex DeBrincat, and number 8, Dominic Kubalik. This goal was all set up by a beautiful passing play. Kubalik had it in behind the goal line, feeds it over to DeBrincat. DeBrincat sets it, goes up towards the circle, feeds it over to Strome, and Strome in the slot buries it past James Reimer. And the Hawks tie it, and we have a really high caliber chance in taking a loss in regulation because the Hurricanes were just cycling and moving the puck in the Hawks' defensive zone, and it led to a few chances for them. But the Hawks end up going towards overtime, and well, Hawks run the opening faceoff. David Camp goes off for DeBrincat to come out. With Kane, Keith, and DeBrincat, they were cycling the puck, taking it up, and they had opportunities, but came up short. And then, well, the Hurricanes came in, and Kevin Lankinen needed to stand strong. Lankinen made a couple big saves in the OT, leading to us having to go into a shootout. Yes, you know my stance on shootouts. I'm not a fan of them. They aren't hockey. But we have to go to a shootout. And, well, the Hawks go with the first shooter opportunity. Since they're at home, they chose to shoot first. And they choose number 12, Alex DeBrincat, to go up. And, well, he goes in trying to deke his way through and goes on the backhand. And Reimer makes the save. And, well, the Hurricanes have their first opportunity, and they go with Dougie Hamilton. Dougie goes up and tries to go for the 5-hole on Kevin Lankinen, and Lankinen said no. So we have our second shooter in the shootout, and that is number 88, Patrick Kane, who has been snake bitten on these penalty shots / shootouts this year. We only had one prior for the shootout, and Kane didn't make it, and he also had a penalty shot, and he didn't make it on the penalty shot. Does he score on the shootout? This time, he goes up, speeding up, slowing down, trying to deke himself through glove side, and he shoots in the crease and goes a little glove on Reimer, making the save. So Vincent Trocheck is up for the Hurricanes. He goes up and tries to do what Dougie Hamilton did by trying to shoot on the 5-hole of Lankinen, but Lankinen had enough of that and made a save. So the Hawks' third shooter is up, and that belongs to number 17, Dylan Strome. And he tried to kind of pull a Patrick Kane by deking himself in and going towards the crease. And, well, if he just had it just a tad bit longer, he probably could have buried one to make it a 1-0 lead in the shootout. But no, the Reimer makes the save, and it comes down to Kevin Lankinen needing to make a save to force a 4th round of the shootouts. And, well, it doesn't happen because Andrei Svechnikov comes up and beats Lankinen, making it a 4-3 final, 1-0 final in the shootout. Lankinen played strong. It's nothing wrong. It's nothing on Lankinen on this game. He played great. He kept the Hawks in the game. He played outstanding, but the Hawks came up short. Down in the comments down below, I want to hear what your thoughts are on tonight's action, and thank you for watching the broadcast. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And most of all, that's a long season, but let's go Hawks.